Hello, hello. Welcome back. This is Farron here with my Healing for Purpose podcast. Welcome back. I appreciate you joining me. And we are here doing episode number 2 and helping you having healthier, better relationships. And I am just home here chilling, and I'm bringing you another topic today on how to have healthy relationships. So, the topic today is the relationship starts with you. You. So, yes, you decide with God and never leave Him out of your decision when it comes to you having a healthy relationship. And so, I'll tell you why. I'm pretty sure if you are listening here today, that either you know someone who's had a unhealthy relationship, or either you've had an unhealthy relationship. I tell you what, I've had an unhealthy relationship. I've done it without God before, and I will tell you what, each and every single time I did it, it was a hot mess, and nobody and nothing can tell me otherwise because that came from my own personal experience. It was me choosing to have a relationship that I picked out, that I thought was best for me, based off my own choices, my own desires, my own wants, and my own needs, and my thoughts that I had what was best for myself. Okay. So that's why you always want to decide to do it with God. And sometimes those relationships that we get ourselves into, they can last for a while. They can last for a long, long, long time. One in particular that I had lasted for about 7 years. It was up and down, in and out. It was a hot mess. We would love each other and then hate each other and fuss and fight and get back together and break up, get back together and break up, get back. We was just going around and around, around and around, round and around. And, I loved him. And, after that, I got into another relationship. And, each one just no better than the last. I'll tell you that. So whenever you decide to do a relationship with God, it's a little different. It's a lot different. I'm not gonna say a little. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. Okay, it's a big difference when you do a relationship with God. So that's why you never want to leave Him out of it. So, um, whether you know from personal experience or whether you know from looking at someone else do it wrong or have their bumps in the road or their mishaps, is because they're trying to do it without God. So knowing the difference, what does it look like when it's different? So I'll tell you what it looks like. One of the biggest things, it's like Aretha Franklin said, RESPECT, respect. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. If you don't respect or love yourself in your relationship with yourself first, then you won't respect or love yourself, and the other person won't respect or love themselves enough to treat you how you know that you should be treated, how you desired to be treated. And that's why you will have those bumps in the road when you don't respect yourself in a relationship from the beginning, from the very, 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 very beginning. Upon introducing yourselves, your thoughts from the very first moment, before you even say one word to that person, that's when you lose the respect. If you already are looking at the person and you're thinking any thoughts about that person that aren't in alignment with scripture, with what God would want you to do, then that's how you know that God did not bring you that relationship. You're having lustful thoughts about a person, and it's not rooted in scripture. It's not rooted in biblical principle. You are going after the physical. So you're not respecting yourself. You're not loving yourself, because those things, whenever you're going after physical or the wrong attributes of a person for personal gain or temporal, then you know that you're not respecting yourself, you're not loving yourself, and that's not good. It's not healthy. That's not how you want to begin the foundation of a relationship with someone. So, um, there are the basics, as people say. Whenever you've engaged in a relationship with a person, and they say they're not even doing the basics, what are the basics of a relationship? So I actually want to get you, the listeners, involved in this part. What are the basics of a relationship? I'm sure that everybody has their own opinion, their own list of what the basics are. So I want you guys to just get engaged in this activity. What are 5 basic things that a person should have in a relationship? Okay. So what I want you to do is to write those 5 things down quickly. Doesn't take a lot of time. You can just keep them in your mind. You can write them on your phone, your laptop, piece of paper, it doesn't matter. Just quickly jot down 5 things that are the basics in a relationship. All right. So I'm going to give you guys a few moments to do that. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. So I have some things written down here, and they're more than 5, but I just want you to take a look at your list as I go over my list. And I'm going to tell you some basic things that should be in a relationship whenever you are considering a healthy relationship. Okay. Some things that should be considered in a healthy relationship. Okay. So if we have these same things written down on the list, I want you to put them in the section where you can make a comment. You can find me on Facebook underneath my name, Farron Foreman, on Instagram and Facebook. And if you can go down into the comment section here on my podcast, write these 5 things down anywhere and see if we have the same things. All right. So the number one thing I have written down first is time. Time in a relationship. All right. So everybody wants time. You're only allowed so much of it on this planet. All right. Not everybody has the same amount of time as another person. As you know, that time is critical, especially coming from where we've came from. Today is, 2022, and the past 2 or 3 years here, um, we've watched transition and change. 2019, and then going into 2020, and I'm not sure what the population is like today, but I do know that a lot of people have been lost over the past few years. So, due to the coronavirus pandemic. So, time, we know that we don't have a lot of it. So, whenever people are asking for time in a relationship and you're not getting it, or maybe sometimes you might feel like the other person is giving too much of it, you can feel smothered. You can feel um, like you don't have any breathing room or breathing space, and you would like more time to yourself because you don't feel like you get any at all. You can't even hear yourself think. You don't even know what you sound like anymore. Like, what are your thoughts? What does your voice sound like? So it could definitely go either way. You could feel like you don't get enough time with that person. You feel more alone. You feel lonely. You feel like nobody there. Nobody cares. And, you're just wasting time, waiting on the other person to give you some of their time because they're not sharing the time with you. All right. So that's part of the basics in a relationship, is that each person is desiring time from the other person. All right. If that were not true, then you would not want to be in a relationship. Okay. So help. Help in a relationship is very important as well. You are desiring some type of assistance, some type of support in a relationship. If that were not true, what would be the point of a relationship? Whether on either end of a relationship, healthy or unhealthy, time and support is needed. Okay. If you are not receiving the help or assistance that you need in a relationship from that other person, you are lacking and you're feeling like that other person is not taking care of their responsibility in the relationship with you. Okay. So you're looking for help in some type of way from the other person. The next thing I have written down is spirituality. Whenever you're sharing spirituality with a person, especially biblically speaking, you're looking to be equally yoked with that person. You two should, and sometimes I would have to say, it's almost a requirement when it comes to certain people's religious backgrounds and their beliefs. If you don't share the same spirituality as the other person, that could pretty much be the end of the relationship. It would be for some people. And some people, they're more willing to bend and be lenient. But I would also say that there are going to be bumps in the road when you don't share the same spirituality as the other person. You're not equally yoked with that other person. So God does talk about that. And we're going to get a little bit deeper into that, and then probably in a little bit later, some future episodes about spirituality. And the next thing I have written down is financials. Financials in a relationship is extremely important, mostly because that can cause a rift in a relationship early on, even if someone is looking to be taken out on an expensive date versus someone who is looking to save money and really get to know the person. That can really outline what the intentions are of one individual versus another. If you have someone out there saying, oh, he needs to go and take me out to an extremely fancy restaurant on the first date, can really show you that, okay, that's what this person's expectations are in the beginning of a relationship, is that, oh, they want to be taken out, they want to be wined and dined day one. And if you're the person that's more reserved and you're looking for more of a quiet evening, maybe out on the beach or on a bench at a park, or, just truly in a quiet setting, or if the person, paying attention to that, the person's financial standards will be clear and known to a degree. Not all the time, but it's a good clue to look for in the beginning of a relationship. Where's this person trying to take you on a date and showing you in the beginning where they're at? Are they taking you in a nice restaurant? Are they taking you to McDonald's? Are they taking you to Chili's? Are they taking you to Applebee's? It's going to tell you something about that person already, okay? Are they taking you to a place where it's appropriate? The next thing on my list I have is emotional. And emotionally, the basics. And it's letting you know that, hey, is this person emotionally intelligent enough to have a relationship at this point in their life? How do you get to know that? How do you know someone's emotionally intelligent? How do you see that? Well, you get to know that by asking them certain questions on a date. Ask them how they respond whenever they're angry. And you're not probably going to see it. They might hide it very well, but asking those type of light questions in the beginning when you're truly getting to know someone. Okay? So in the beginning of a relationship, you really want to get to know their mental basics as well. Now, some things of course, you might not find out, like I said, in the beginning of dating a person, but also these things are really not just always for the other person. It's for yourself. Make sure you apply these things for yourself. I just want to be clear about that as I'm going through the list. These things are the relationship starts with you, but also in evaluating the other person as well whenever you go out. But considering yourself, the time that you have for yourself, the amount of support you're willing to have for yourself, spiritually yourself, where you're at, and what you be willing to bend on or not bend on for yourself. Patience with yourself. How are you when you're dealing with yourself when it comes with patience. Do you have patience for yourself when you're doing things and getting things done, going to the grocery store, getting in and out of your car, just regular things. Pay attention to yourself. That lets you know the amount of patience that you would have for somebody else. I've noticed that we're really lacking self-awareness, and when you lack self-awareness, that's when you get in a relationship and you find out that, wow, I'm not really prepared to be in a relationship because I lack these things for myself, but I'm looking at someone else for these things. So one of the things next after that was loyalty in a relationship. Loyalty for yourself, for a relationship for yourself. It's going to look at, do you stay loyal to yourself and the things that you promised that you had for your goals and for yourself that you set? Are you sticking to your diets? Are you sticking to your morning routine? Are you sticking to the things, your goals that you set out for yourself every day? Any new habits that you change, staying loyal and true to yourself is so, so very important. And the last thing that I have on my list. Now, I know after looking at your 5 things, I know that you might be wondering, she did not have love. I saved it for last, okay? I did. All right, so I saved it for last because God is love. All right? God is love. And I saved it for last because we're going to talk more about it in episode 3. All right. So, love is last on the list. And if you have at least 5 of those things on the list, put them in the comment section, put them on wherever you see me out there on social media. Fair Informant, Instagram, and Facebook is where I'm at. And I look forward to seeing you in episode 3, where we are going to talk about love. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next episode.